I'm Kate Venugopal. I'm the International Marketing Sustainability Specialist for California Wines, and these are my liquid pleasures.
Kate, I'm so excited to be here with you today, and I have a really good question to start us off because I have to know, if you're on a desert island, are you picking red or white? From California, of course. What do you choose?
On an island,
Desert island wine.
white 100%.
White, 100%?
100% white.
Oh, I love it. Me
Yeah.
too. You know, I love a white wine, but honestly, I'm going for a California Pinot. And I love California wine, so I'm so happy we get to sit down here today and to just talk about sustainability, because you know, I have a background in sustainability as well. My degree's in environmental policy. So I really want to know what makes California, what sets them apart? I know they're the 4th largest wine producing region in the world, but what sets them apart as far as sustainability?
I think it has a lot to do with our history. So we've had a deep-seated commitment to sustainable wine growing for almost 3 decades. You know, and when we think about wine growing, a lot of people forget that the certifications that are now currently available that you see on the back of a bottle, those are really modeled after practices that are ancient practices that farmers have been implementing for a really long time. And it's just in these modern days that these practices have really been formalized into standards and into sort of like structured rules and certification programs.
And that really does bring us to like one thing that California has, which is the sustainable wine growing certification. So based on all that, like what does it take to become like a certified sustainable wine grower in California?
It's pretty comprehensive.
Okay.
So there are a number of certification programs available in California. The California Sustainable Wine Growing Alliance administers the most widely adopted program in the state, and it's called Certified California Sustainable Wine Growing, CCSW. We'll look at a bottle with the logo on the back momentarily.
Actually, you know what? Let's take a look at it right now. Do you know which one it might be on?
Yeah, it's here.
Cambria? Oh, great.
It's here on the Julia's Vineyard. This is a Jackson family wine.
Amazing.
Wine, and Jackson family has been a true leader in terms of sustainable wine growing.
And it's just this one right down here,
yeah? So it says
Amazing.
certified sustainable California.
Amazing.
Yeah. So, you know, going back to your original question though about what sets California apart, I want to emphasize that the leadership in California over the course of several decades of peer-to-peer engagement, really bringing neighbors along to help other people learn how to be better farmers and better winemakers, not only just to make better wine, but to take better care of the earth, of our community, of our people. It's really important. So we've been doing it for a long time in California, and we're just starting to talk about it in a more meaningful way, because I think other people care too. Consumers care, the trade cares, we all care.
And this sounds like what's driving the commitment behind all of this, this sense of care. That's the driver behind all of this.
I think it's a huge driver. I would say it's threefold. There is a deep sense of care. I think there's also a very active response to climate change that's happening right now. We can't ignore it. I think it motivates a lot of purchasing decisions, whether it's a car, whether it's your lipstick, whether it's your blazer. Our purchasing decisions are largely motivated these days by sustainability. We want to make choices that make a difference, because there's not a whole lot we can do in the face of climate change. So when we have an opportunity to do something meaningful, we want to do it. So that's the second driver. And the third driver, I think, that motivates Californians to be committed to sustainable wine growing is the place.
It's so beautiful.
California's beautiful. It's a phenomenal wine growing region.
Is.
You know, we've got every soil type under the sun. We grow every varietal under the sun. We have every microclimate under the sun. It's incredibly diverse. We grow a wide range of wines. So I think we're really motivated by its beauty, by its majesty, and have a deep desire to protect it.
I love that word majesty for it, because it very much is that.
Yeah.
So I want to bring it back into the wine space. I'm going to get a little technical with you, because there's quite a few terms out there right now that a lot of people are really seeing on bottles or on wine websites. So we see sustainable, organic, biodynamic, regenerative. Can we just get like a quickie breakdown of those from you, and like how they're all interconnected, because it's all part of this world?
Yeah, I'm going to start traveling with a pocket guide of a diagram I can just point to, because it's such a common question.
It really is. It really is.
Yeah, and there's a lot of confusion around it. I think there are 4 basic types of certifications, and then there are a number of certifications within those 4 basic types. But the 4 basic types are a sustainability certification, comprehensive. Sustainability certifications cover both grape growing practices and winemaking practices. So you can have a vineyard certified or a winery certified, but we're talking energy efficiency, water conservation, habitat restoration. We're talking about fostering relationships with neighbors and community and employees, taking care of people. We're talking about philanthropy. So in summary, it's really comprehensive. And then an organic certification in the US is it's dictated by the United States Department of Agriculture's National Organic Standard. So it's very prescriptive. It's a program that is designed to foster soil health, vine health, and healthy ecosystems. And it doesn't allow the use of certain chemicals. So that's a good summary for it. And then we move on to biodynamic. A biodynamic certification is, in summary, based on sort of a closed loop model. So the idea is that you don't want to bring anything off the farm to help run the farm. You want to be sure that you're taking care of all of your needs right there on the farm. And then lastly, the new kid on the block in the suite of certifications.
I do like this one though.
Yes, is the regenerative certification. And so in California, our largest certifier is the Regenerative Organic Certification Program. We call it the ROC program. So in order to achieve a ROC certification, you have to first become certified organic. And then you have to meet a number of additional requirements focused mostly on soil health and social fairness.
I like thinking about this, like, I always translate this in wine. I like thinking about all these certifications as like a really good closet. You have your like basics that you're gonna wear throughout the year. That's your sustainability. It's very all encapsulating. Then you have organic, which are very small curated pieces. Biodynamic, maybe somebody gave it to you. It's been in the family a long time. And then you have regenerative, where things that maybe you're gonna pass them down to someone else. So it's really like holistic in its matter when you think about it all together.
Yeah, it's a great analogy.
Thank you. I also really like clothes. But I wanted to get into this because we're looking at beverage alcohol as a whole. Like, it's a really big industry out there. But wine, does this make wine like one of the most sustainable beverages that you can really enjoy?
Within the alcohol sector right now, wine hands down worldwide, not just in California, but across the world, has been leading in sustainable initiatives over the years. I think the alcohol sector is going through some shifts, some trends that are shifting. RTDs are very popular right now. And I think when a consumer is thinking about their sustainability choices, when they're choosing a beverage for their afternoon picnic with friends, if they want to make a sustainable choice, choosing wine is a great option. Choosing California wine is a guaranteed sustainable option.
No, it's so true. California has really been in place of all this, and your work in particular is great because, and I want to stress on this, what is the importance of really informing and empowering the consumer? Like, how do you see that in your work, especially with California wines?
Yeah, this is a challenging concept to really educate consumers on. And so, to be honest, I think I'm giving up on the education approach. And instead, I just want to bring the consumers along with us on the journey. And we're actually launching a new communications campaign in California to do just that, to sort of engage consumers in a more meaningful way. We're calling it Wines on a Mission.
I love it. Please tell me all about it. I want to hear all about Wines on a Mission and what mission they're on.
Yeah, I think, our mission is to connect people to the stories, not so much the data, not so much the information, not even so much the science, because consumers really just don't have time to sort of absorb all of that information. But what does happen, with consumers when they're making these decisions, they make emotional decisions. And I think stories are one of the best ways to sort of bridge, a consumer to a product. And so we're using wine to connect a consumer with the story of sustainability, the myriad of stories of sustainability that are behind these wines.
So speaking of the consumer, how can they get involved in all of this? Like, where we want to tell these stories, we want to bring them in on the process with them, and maybe they're saying, yeah, we're on board.
Yeah.
How can they get involved more?
Right, and it's challenging and confusing, right?
A little bit, because they ask me all the time what all these little stickers are.
Right. I think that the first step for a consumer is when they're thinking about wine purchasing, turn the bottle around.
Exactly.
Take a look. What sort of commitments are being made by this winery, whether or not it's claims that they're talking about on their bottle, or whether or not they've taken the step to certify to a particular program, and they're allowed to use a logo on the bottle to communicate that. This small logo conveys loads of hard work, loads of commitment. I want to say blood, sweat, and tears, but that's a little dramatic.
But it's fairly true. There's a lot that goes into just getting that quite small logo. It's basically like a stamp on an envelope that was carried by a carrier pigeon.
Yeah. I think we're fortunate in the US to be we're regulated. The labeling process is fairly heavily regulated. So you're not able to put a logo on the bottle that doesn't hold muster. And so I think for a consumer, just keeping in mind, step number one, turn the bottle around. What is this winery communicating to me? They're communicating a commitment through a sustainability certification. They're also talking a little bit about their passion for taking care of the earth. And I think as a consumer, it's a really fun age in that we have this information available to us. Wineries are making this information available on their websites. They have sustainability pages. But loads of products. If I want to research the sustainability of a product, that information is available to us now. And so take a moment, turn it around.
That's a great way to stop, think, put your mind into it, get it a part of your daily use, your daily life in wine. And I have one more question for you, because I can see how much passion you have about this. Like, where does this passion for sustainability, for this care of the environment, where does it come from?
Oh gosh, my background is in horticulture and sustainable agriculture. And I also have a chapter working in policy. And so coming to the California Wine Institute has been sort of a perfect intersection of that. But I think what really drives my passion is being inspired by our industry.
Thank you so much for being with me today. This is such a great conversation. Just leave your questions down below, like and subscribe, because there's more conversations like this coming out really soon on Liquid Pleasures Behind the Bottle.